Welcome back to my garden. I have been so in the zone of like cleaning things up and harvesting the last of what you see here that I can't believe it's already time to plant something again. But I've got a space cleared out and today it's the day to plant some garlic. I'm actually already kind of late. I'm way later than I was last year, but I wasn't that impressed with my garlic harvest this year, so I'm hoping that whatever I do this year will be a little bit better. I did like double the amount of garlic I got, and I only got one variety this time. Where last year I got 4 different varieties, 2 soft neck, 2 hard neck, to kind of test it out and see what I liked best. But this year I just wanted to go simple and grow them well and not really care so much about the variety. So I got all music because I've heard that music does well here in Michigan where I am. So we'll see. I prepped my bed. I got cow manure and put it on top and just kind of scratched it in a little bit. I am going to use some fertilizer and sprinkle that in. And then my plan is to put the garlic cloves 3 inches deep, and I think like between 6 and 8 inches apart, but actually I thought I was gonna have to figure it out myself, but on my seeding square, it actually had a guide for garlic, and that's the blue dots. So those are probably like 6 inches apart. So I'll be doing that, and we'll hope for the best. So as I already kind of mentioned, I'm way later to planting my garlic this year than I was last year. Last year I did it towards the end of September, and right now it's already mid-October basically, but I've been watching the weather and it looks like the frost is still, I don't even want to say it, I'm gonna knock on wood right now. The frost is still a few weeks away, so hopefully this is all good. But the differences between this year and last year, what I'm hoping is that I was a little bit more intentional about my spacing this year. Last year I did them in fabric pots, so while I was mindful of the spacing, I still wanted to fit each variety into one pot, so they might have been a little bit closer. Last year, I got bulbs that were pretty small to start with, and the cloves were obviously even smaller, but this year I was really impressed with the cloves that I got that I think you'll see when I start spreading them out. They look pretty big. They're pretty decent size already, so I'm excited. I'm hoping for the best with this garlic. I got the music variety. Last year, what I planted were 2 different hardneck varieties. I did Ivan and Rosewood. And then with the soft neck, I did Nukta Rose and Ishalum. I don't know if I'm saying those right, but the soft neck just didn't do as well. And the hard neck actually was okay, which is what gives me a little bit more hope that the hardneck music variety that I'm planting this year will perform a little bit better for me and I'll get bigger cloves. I did get cloves from what I planted last year. They just weren't very big. I think the biggest one was, I don't know, probably if you close your pointer finger and your thumb, that's probably the biggest garlic clove that I got. So it was still cool to taste, like the rosewood maybe, or the Nukta Rose, one of those. It was like a red color and it was a little bit spicier, and that was cool to see. But I already mentioned this. I just wanted to be a little bit more simple and just do one thing really well instead of trying to take on too much. And I'm very happy that my seeding square gave me a little bit of guidance here, so I feel confident with my spacing just due to that too. So here I am just spacing out where I'm going to be laying my cloves to get a good idea of how far they need to be apart, and I'm just going to lay them all out. I am one garlic clove short of having a full third row, but whatever. Can't be mad about that. I'm just impressed with how much garlic I have going in the ground right now. So hopefully I get at least half of these, right? And then that would be a lot of garlic to enjoy for next year. So excited about that. But here I just have them all laid out, already different than what I did last year. So again, just trying different things to see what works. I kind of used my spade because it has a measuring scale on the side of it, and just kind of tested where 3 inches down was, and basically figured out that if I could shove my whole hand down, then that was about 3 inches. Some of it was harder to put down because the soil underneath was a little bit more tough. It wasn't as loose. Some of them just went in really easily, but others I had to kind of wiggle around a little bit. So hopefully they're all around 3 inches. But as you can see, I'm just kind of placing them underneath the soil around 3 inches and going down the line. Now all I have to do is water these in and cover them in a good amount of leaves just to mulch it. I don't have anything other than leaves, so I'm just gonna use leaves. If I need to end up replacing it with straw like later in the season, then I probably will, but leaves seem to work well throughout the garden before, so hopefully that does the same. I feel pretty good about this. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm just feeling more confident after being able to grow a garden. Like last year was really scary because this was the first thing I was ever doing. So I don't know, I hope it works out better than this year worth of garlic. I got some garlic. It just wasn't anything like I thought it was gonna be. The soft neck did really bad, so I'm feeling better about going with all hard neck this time. So hopefully that works. I am filthy, it's disgusting. But I have to go get some leaves and cover this up after I water it in. So I'm gonna do that and follow along this year if you'd like to see how the garlic grows. Hopefully we get something good out of it. But either way, thanks for joining me while I plant some garlic in my garden. The first thing for 2024 going in. Feels crazy, but I made it through my first year of gardening, I guess. I've come full circle. I've gone back to the beginning of where I started. So, yeah. I am going to show you around the garden and harvest some things, finish out those tomato plants, get the last of the Swiss chard, all that fun stuff. But that'll be in another video. I'm losing daylight, so I'm going to lose my partner here soon too. But yeah, thanks for joining and stay tuned for what 2024 brings in terms of the garden. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.